Hi guys, welcome to my 21-week pregnancy vlog. Today I am 21 weeks and 3 days pregnant. I will start by showing you my belly because I keep forgetting to do that. So here is my belly today. I got my pregnancy jeans on. Whoop, whoop. Okay, there we go. There's the baby. Little baby bump. Not little, quite big. Still don't really see a sign of the linea nigra, or however you pronounce it. But I'm sure it will come in due course. Today I went to an ultrasound. I think last week I was talking about how I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to find a doctor that specialized in isoimmunization, antibodies, all the things that I have going on with my pregnancies, or at least the last 2 pregnancies. So a special shout out to Jane's friend. I don't know what your name is, but thank you. She's an Estonian girl who knew about this clinic here in Tallinn, who would be able to help me out. And so Jane, who we've hired on this movie as a tutor for the kids and part-time nanny, her girlfriend saw my vlog last week and reached out to Jane and was like, hey, actually I do know of someone that could be appropriate for Teresa to go and see. So it was really interesting. Mark was really nervous. We had sort of made the decision that we were just going to wait to go and see if everything's okay in LA. But because we heard that this person was really wonderful, and we didn't just hear it from Jane's friend, we actually heard it from the production here as well. They were like, oh, we researched into it and everyone's been talking about this particular doctor. By the way, I'm wearing makeup, which is, you never see that on me because I just never wear makeup. But I had a meeting today with the director, this film that I'm probably going to go and do when I'm about 2 months postpartum. So I have makeup on for my Skype, which is so funny because I never wear makeup. But yeah, so the whole experience of going in for the scan was really interesting. Obviously, a lot of them don't speak English, so Mark and I were kind of stabbing in the dark. We didn't really know what we were trying to say, like, oh, we're here. It was organized through this woman from a production and I'm in town, but I'm not giving birth here. And it all seemed a bit like overwhelming for them because they were like, whoa, like, what is this? Where are all your papers? Where's everything describing your pregnancy? I was like, I don't have that with you guys. This is the first time that I've been here. And then ultimately we ended up figuring out, my husband's looking at me through the window over there. Can you see this? See, now he's taking a photo of me. He's like through the window. But ultimately we ended up sort of stumbling through the translation, and we were like, do we stay? Are we getting this done? Do they know what we're here for? So we had to sort of explain the situation. But actually, finally, the lady was like, the woman who did the ultrasound, I think she's a doctor, she was like, oh, antibodies. And I was like, yes, antibodies, exactly. She was like, I read your paper. And I was like, perfect. We just need to see if the baby is okay, if the baby is healthy, looking good. And then, and she understood English probably the best of everyone, which was great. And she could speak it back to us in broken English. But it was, I think Mark gets nervous for scans in general. So his anxiety level at this point, because we're trying to struggle through the translation, is like through the roof. Like I'm just looking at him and he's like off to the side being like, babe, should we go? What are we doing? Why are we here? And I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. And then ultimately I was just like, oh, second trimester screening. She was like, yes, okay. So then we lie down, I lie down and they put the gel on and we see baby straight away. And then she just went ahead and did basically my anatomy scan, what I would have got done at 20 weeks in the States anyway. So measured everything, the heart chambers, the femur, the length of the baby, was like, this is a female down. And I was like, oh, vagina. She was like, no. And I was like, oh, what is it then? And she was like, I was like, the labia? And she was like, yes, labia. I was like, the labia. Okay, cool. So it definitely is a girl. Cool. Then she did 4D imagery. So she managed they kind of just switched something on the computer and it flicks it over to 4D and we could see her face and her nose and her lips and her eyes and she was sucking on her little hand. And it was just amazing. This is the first scan that Mark has been to where we can really see the shape of the baby. He'd been to earlier ones where it was just like a little teeny peanut. But now it's like, oh, this really looks like a baby. Her little hands. And we've got so many images of our babies in utero, like with their hands up by their face. And she was doing the exact same thing. She had her hand here and was sucking on here, and we saw her little feet and counted all the fingers and toes and everything looked really good. And so the word that we could understand is normal. She was like, normal? I was like, okay, good, thank God. But it was really nerve-wracking because you're going down the list and then she would linger and zoom in and like measure things and then say something in Estonian to the other nurse in the room, and Mark and I were just sort of looking at each other like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Like, it was just so hard because usually what you hear is like the tone of someone's voice, you know, if you're with your English doctor, and you can hear what they're saying, like, yeah, looks normal, this, da, da, da. But because we didn't understand what they were saying to each other, it was always like, we were both holding our breaths for everything that she measured. And then finally she was like, baby looks good, no signs of antibody. I was like, fantastic, which just basically means that my body is not attacking the baby because of the foreign antigen in the baby's blood that came from Mark. So that was great. She said there was really good blood flow to the brain. And so essentially the baby looked really, really healthy and great. And we got a printout of everything. And there's these little, I guess like the percentiles to see where the baby is at. And right now she's measuring like 4 days off my due date, which is normal, 4 days behind. But Mark has a feeling she's coming on the full moon. So Mark's like, she's coming August 22nd. I know it. I know that's when she's coming. So we'll see. I feel like my babies tend to go a little bit over. And if she's already measuring 4 days behind, I wouldn't be surprised if she does come like the 28th of August, which is actually Susie's birthday, which would be really special. So anyway, that in general was just so beautiful, such a big part. I know all of you know about your 20-week scan. It's the big anatomy scan. It's sort of the nerve-wracking one because you're trying to check that baby's growing right, they have their nasal bone and everything's measuring okay on the back of the neck, and that it all looks healthy. And so once you get over the 20-week scan and everything looks good, you tend to have less issues moving forward. So I feel great about it. I'm so happy that we got to see her and hear her heartbeat and see the little chambers of her heart beating and moving. And we've already predicted from her 3D scan who she looks like. I think she looks like Forrest in here and has the poet Bodie Palmer big eyes, like deep set big eyes. But then this here is a Weber. This is just from the 3D scan. And Mark agrees with me. Anyway, this is our prediction. And I was like, she's going to have my mane of hair, which is just so hilarious. But look, it was so wonderful. Symptoms this week. Well, a really cute thing that happened was Mark felt her for the first time. He put his hands down and she's still really low, like the kicks. Oh yeah, and right now she's, her feet are down and her head is up. So she's in a breech position, but she has plenty of time to switch around. So her feet are down here. And as most of you know, that is not the optimal birthing position, but I think I've had this before and babies end up flipping around where their head goes down. So I'm feeling a lot of the kicks here. So Mark, he'll just come and put his like hand right here, and he's felt her a few times now, and she really responds to his voice. And the kids have been really cute lately. Forrest has been coming up and oops, I almost said her name. Baby, I love you. Mummy loves you. Oops, I just said mummy loves you. That doesn't make sense. Folly loves you. Mummy also loves you. It's because I started bugging out that I just almost said the name. Hopefully you don't know what the name is. But yeah, they've all been talking to the baby, and Bodhi every morning talks to her using her name, says that Bodhi's here. I'm the big brother. I'm going to cuddle you when you come out. He's already asked me if he could wear the baby carrier and put the baby in and like carry her around the house, which I think I'm going to be fine with because he'll be 7. Will he be? Yeah, he'll be 7.5 by then. And he's just so sweet with Poet. It's unbelievable how cute he is. So yeah, I'm going to encourage all of that. And it was so wild today to say, she was like, what number pregnancy is this? I was like, 5. This is my 5th pregnancy. I had 1 loss. I have 4. This is my 4th baby. That's bizarre. Like, I cannot believe I'm 35 years old and I'm about to have my 4th baby. What even is happening? And I have 2 little boys and I have 2 little girls and I'm still not done. I said to Mark today, like, oh, wouldn't it just be so nice? Like, just have another one. Can you imagine a little brother? Like, wouldn't that be so sweet? And he was like, no, I can't imagine a little brother. I can't imagine anything more than what's happening right now. And I was like, I know, because you're being very present and that's very evolved of you, but I still love talking about maybe if we're going to have another baby. And so he was like, we're going to get through having this baby first and then maybe talk to me in about 3 or 4 years' time. And the answer will probably still be that, no, we're good. We have more than enough children, which is so true. We have so many beautiful, wonderful, healthy, thank God, healthy children. But it's like there's that little part of me that I just don't know if I'll ever feel done. I know lots of people talk about that feeling of, I just knew my family was complete. Am I that creature? I just don't know. I think my whole life I've just envisioned this massive family with so many children. And Mark always reminds me, you have so many children. And I'm like, I know, but who knows if I'll ever get that feeling of being done or not. Surely at some point, maybe when I'm like menopausal, then I'll be like, well, okay, fine, I'm done. I'm like 60. I'm like, all right, I guess I shouldn't have another. But yeah, so in terms of symptoms, just been feeling lethargic, tired, really tired. And I've been getting this like pain back here, right in my hip area, which is like, I get that during pregnancy. And I kind of think it's right in my kidneys, and I just like massage it and put pressure there. And then my ribs started doing a bit of the aching that it has done previously. But other than that, feeling pretty good. But big. I feel big. And I bought a scale today. So I'm going to see how much weight I've put on. I haven't done it yet. I will. I will after this video, and then I'll put it in my little blog that accompanies the video. All right, guys, that's it. That's our update, and we will see you next week. Bye.